It's a coat of many colors. It is never black and white. Can't have one without the other. The dark without the light. In the summer we were lovers. With a flame our hearts would burn. A flame the autumn would smother and leave this heart to yearn forever blue, forever blue. I'm putting on a show for the world to see. No one will ever know that without you I'm forever blue. No more waking up early.
Hello and welcome, everybody. A very sanguine salutations to you tonight. We are back with another episode of the Kindred of Fog City. That is correct. I know we took an episode, we took a session break. Apologies for that. That was on me. But our players are here and ready to get right into it. And we're going to start with just some quick introductions. Leona, why don't you go first?
Oh Lord, you're starting with me? Alright, hello, I'm Leona. You can find me on Twitter at the Leona Maple. I'm playing Uma Shaker R. I don't know what she is anymore, but ooh, spooky music. She's a vampire. What more do you want to know? I'm really high on cold meds. Forgive me.
Alright, we'll just continue left to right. That means D, you're up next.
Good evening, my lovely creatures of the dark. My name is Dee, and tonight I will be playing DJ Green, the Bruja that's single-handedly upholding the entire hip-hop industry.
Keep it on going. To the left, Glyza.
Hey, I'm Glyza. I go by they, them. I was recently nominated for Best in Costume. Today, at the New Jersey, Web Fest. And as you can see, I'm living up to that, name. I am going to be playing Aurora Goblin mode today. It's just a feeling that I have that Aurora is not going to be at her best, but that's okay. I'm a person of many hats. I am a podcast host, I'm a writer, a variety streamer, and a talk show host of a show called Trial Run. If you want to see where, I hang out, just go to bio.link/classical Glyza for all of my schedules, or just check out at classical Glyza on Twitter. Next!
Oh, that's me. Hello, Twitch. My name is Tate Washburn, and I will be playing Dustin Nightmore-Gott, the Tremere detective who is mostly and generally done with everyone's shit as just like a default state of being, but... And next.
Alright, Foxy.
Right, that's me. Hey, sorry. What's up, friends, darlings? It's Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. And tonight, you are given the pleasure of me returning to the play of Malcolm Duvernay, Toreador savant, art connoisseur, and artist consumer.
And with our fantastic cast introduced, hello, I will be your storyteller for tonight. If you do not know who I am Mallard Man on the internet. I use he and they pronouns, and I would love if you would join us tonight. A quick recap for those of you who either are tuning in for the first time or have let the mists of time faded your memory. Last session began with an invitation arriving by one means or another to each member of the coterie. It was for an art show. One Malcolm had been preparing just as part of their typical day-to-day job. But strangely, all of you seem to have a connection to it. An unlikely coincidence indeed, as was the title of our last episode. As the events unfolded, a few more things happened that bear mentioning. The return of the sire of Malcolm in Fog City has shaken things up, to say the least. A powerful presence is now among you all. But all that aside, the art show hosted at the Institute for at the San Francisco Institute for Art is underway. As it went underway, there were a curious cast of characters, your coterie, including another kindred who seemingly paid the general admission fee and was just there for some reason. In addition, one of the debuters was a very close friend of our good DJ Green. The headliner, Alize Washington, was the real draw of the art show, to say the least. Oh, apologies. There we go. Sorry. Internet issues, so you'll have to bear with me if something lags on my end. But after a awkward but somewhat pleasant evening, the art show seemed to go off without many hitches. That is until a certain tall, dark, and scary individual walked in. That is correct. Bearing some recognition to our good friend Uma, this is the priest that we met all the way back in episode 1. They admired the art, but it was clear they had a very threatening aura, and all of the members of the coterie picked up on it rather instantly. Being quick with a clever diversion, the entirety of the space was cleared out without any damage to the people or the property on site. But a few more threats were exchanged, as it seems this individual is aware of just who and what you all are. After quickly exiting, Uma decided to give pursuit, and after an altercation in the alleyway, Uma is not feeling very good after that. And that is where we will be picking up our story. Not in the immediate aftermath, but one night later. It is in the Duvernay. What is that?
I was going to ask if I could track this guy with the ritual, but we
will
get
get to
past
that.
or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because your first and immediate concern is the well-being of your friend. The entire coterie went back to the Duvernay Manor and allowed Uma a night's rest to recover. We pick up at the rise of the moon the next day, and you are all in the manor once again, now ready to ask and answer some questions.
Am I still feeling it?
You're definitely feeling after effects of this. It's not as quite an intense emotion, but the feeling still lingers within you.
Okay. Just to refresh my memory, what does that kind of vague feeling feel like?
Let's see. Let me pull it up the exact text, but if I remember correctly, it is just an overwhelming feeling of shame and guilt, as well as a general disgust at the nature of yourself, of being a kindred. Here it is. The vampire collapses in a helpless self-loathing and disgust, unable to act in anything but their own self-defense. Now, the unable to act has ended, but those feelings still persist.
Okay, so kind of more like the feeling of disgust with myself and of shame and guilt and... Okay. I think I'm good. Thank you.
Malcolm would have given you your own, would have offered like not offered, but like had you sequestered off to like a private wing of the estate somewhere where you can have your own space. There's definitely at least one Valkyrie keeping tabs on you, like 24/7, in case anything else goes wrong. But you certainly have space to yourself if you need it or anything like that.
Aurora's gonna knock on the door that uh um that Uma has. If there's gonna be a soft knock on the door.
Come in.
And you see Aurora for the first time, not putting on a performance. Like, this is the first time you've seen them like this, and she walks up to you and goes, "How are you feeling?"
Not great. It's not every day you get face to face with a cross, and gotta deal with your guilt, with your Catholic fucking guilt. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't try so hard every single day of my entire wretched existence to not feel guilty. So, good shit.
I understand.
It was that same stupid fucking priest. He
did a number on you.
Yeah, he did. I couldn't even tell him that I'd figured out who he is or what he is, because the moment he held the stupid thing up, I basically collapsed.
I don't usually tell people this, but I'm not unfamiliar with certain weaknesses that other vampires don't really have. So I understand maybe tangentially what you're going through. And if you ever need to talk, I don't know. I'm here, I guess. This is currently where I'm staying, you know.
Did you also get smacked upside the head by a cross?
Let's just say the night before I had to face some of my own fears, and I had to think about it and how to overcome it. And it's not great.
It sure isn't. I mean, hey, this is the one thing the Inquisition has on us, is that they can make us feel guilt and shame and think about the not great parts of our existence.
Yeah. The thing is, with forever, we have plenty of time to fight it.
It's true. We do have the advantage of time.
Yep. No rush or anything. Whenever you're feeling better, whenever you're ready. Anything that you could give us about that guy, I'm sure the rest of the coterie would love to tell you about.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Fuck.
No,
No, it's
no rush. We have forever.
I mean, yeah, I suppose we do have forever.
And at this point, Aurora is gonna step out and go to the library and just hang out there.
You do see Lucina is also in the library at this moment. We will get to that in a moment, because I feel like Malcolm is the next to arise and be active.
Yeah. Would have passed Aurora in the doorway, offered a nod, a smile, and kept walking by, stopped at the doorway. Just, I see you found yourself some company.
I did. Unexpected company. Are you keeping me sequestered in here for my safety or yours?
Neither. I was concerned.
Trust me, I appreciate it. Getting
How
your
are
brain
you feeling?
scrambled.
Sorry.
No, you're great. You're fine. I'm It's a lot of guilt. It's a lot of shame. It's like having your brain a little scrambled. It's like when a depression takes over you and all you can see is the bad and none of the good. But I'm working through it, you know?
Guilt and shame are difficult emotions to sequester.
They are.
Can I recall a story if you have a brief period of time?
Please.
Do you know when I was born?
Pretty sure it was before I was.
Putting it lightly. Let's say it was during a time where this nation we find ourselves in was much more divided on simple human issues, such as the rights of one to exist as another does, such as one man's right to freedom as another human does. I will not recount you the things that I've seen, the ways one human can brutalize another, can dehumanize another. But I will tell you this. Monstrosity is not a thing of existence. It is a thing of action. The guilt you feel may be personal. It may even be real. But I have seen far worse monsters than you. And not all of them have fangs.
Emma just kind of smiles at Malcolm. You're right.
I try to be.
I think you're more right than you think you are, you know.
Well,
And with that, she will get up off the bed. And I assume that there's probably a robe available somewhere nearby at her disposal. And she will throw it on, turn to Malcolm, take his hand, and kiss the back of it. Thank you.
the flattery is appreciated, but far from required. You are always welcome here.
Not flattery. Now, let's get to work, shall we?
I thought you'd never ask.
And by the time Uma marches out of that room, she is all fucking business and she is pissed.
All right. We're gonna quickly go. It sounds like Dustin had something they wanted to perform as soon as they were able to.
Yeah, and maybe this will work the next day. Maybe it won't. It kind of depends on what time the art show is. But I think when
The
was
art
that? Like,
show kind of ended the night after that.
yeah, but I mean, like, what time of day or night was that? What I want to do only lasts for 24. Like, can only look back 24 hours. I want to cast a ritual that will let me see where someone went.
You still have time to cast this ritual, yes.
Yeah, then I think first thing in the morning, Dustin would have gotten in his big beaten up hearse and gone to the art show or location. First thing at night.
We'll
I should say.
actually have to come back to that really quickly.
Yeah.
Is DJ Green doing anything in particular, or are you just making your way to the manor to rendezvous with your friends?
Oh, if we all stay the night in the manor, DJ would request from Malcolm the loudest stereos he could offer and just pick like 3 rooms and open all the doors, and he's been pacing since he got up, back and forth, and there's speakers placed strategically in every room, so it's never quiet on any particular side. He's just like walking through a stereo in a circle, and he's just freestyling. He's did this for all the hours he was still up last night, and he's just doing it again. The music's just
You would enjoy knowing there was a fully functional recording studio on site in the basement.
fantastic.
Not much time to do it.
Fantastic. Yeah, I gotta get the ammo loaded first, but that's definitely on the map.
Take your time.
And I'll fucking write something, do something else important while I do that.
Is DJ worried? Like, what is this?
So that's the thing about DJ's relationship with most of Kindred Society is I don't think any of y'all know particularly.
Interesting.
If you were to ask him, he would say he's working. But
Sure.
the question is how much of it's working.
Uh-huh.
All right, then we're gonna quickly cut back to Dustin as you're performing this. When you get to you basically, as soon as it was dark, you got up to go to the soon as it was dark, you got up to go to the art show, and you notice there is police tape. As if you all recall, there was a robbery the other night at this location. You see a couple of beat cops just standing there, donuts in hand. One has a nice glaze, the other one has a pink sprinkle.
I don't need to get into the building anyways. I think Dustin would see that and then just like calmly drive past the scene a bit and park. Specifically, if I can, the direction that I know the priest went, because I saw him leave the door and I know like left or right. But that's not going to be too important.
Yeah, you know they went in the northeastern direction, as this is one of those crisscross streets that go across like...
one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think the reason Dustin likes his hearse is specifically for this reason, is that he just scrambles into the back where now there's a big space, and so he doesn't have to get out of the car to do this very obviously magical ritual in front of, like, Kine. So he has a white satin ribbon. I think he actually just keeps several of these on him because they're very easy to carry around on, like, the inside pocket of his vest. He takes one of those out, and he holds it in the same hand he holds his knife, and he's going to cut, like, the inside of his arm and perform the illuminate the trail of prey.
Now, I believe
ritual.
that requires a rouse check, so go ahead and toss me one of those real quick.
Does, and I really hope there's a button for that.
Just roll a d10.
Alright. A 3.
A 3. Well, a 3 is a failure, but I believe you had just gained hunger from your last failure. So you do have one grace period if it's not a critical.
No, okay.
So you do manage to barely stave off hunger. Remind me, what is Dustin's hunger at right now?
It was actually just at the 1. I know you start with 1, but the very top of the game, I did drink a blood bag to...
That's correct. All right. So, read me what this ritual does.
Yeah, I had it right here. The ritual allows the caster to perceive the previous whereabouts of a designated person as a subtly glowing trail, visible only to them. All I need to do is be able to know the person by their face.
I'm trying to think. You were one of the people who got up close and personal with the thought. Yeah. So
I
go
got between Dustin.
You know which direction they travel. Is that correct?
Yeah, to follow the tracks, though, we'll have to roll an intelligence plus survival against a difficulty equal to 6 minus the margin on the ritual test, which I don't know what that means.
I believe normally an opponent gets to roll something contested against this. For this sake, though, I'm just going to set the difficulty at 2 to follow the tracks, since they're not being particularly hidden by any means.
And
are you following the tracks immediately?
Yeah, it only lasts for 24 hours, so I don't have a whole lot of time.
All right, go for it. Roll that check.
You said it at 4?
2 difficulty.
Okay. Good. I think that succeeded. That's a lot of successes.
All right. You immediately, as this ribbon absorbs the blood in the ritual,
It then lights on fire like a candle wick, which I think is pretty cool. Just
yes, you notice it's almost a subtle change, but it's almost as if the footsteps that this person walked suddenly emblazon, as if you're seeing them through the night itself.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, though, you will have to pursue this on foot, so you're gonna have to park your
Yeah.
hearse.
No, I park
Alright.
and I'm gonna get out and just sort of follow it. And because it's big and glowy and obvious, I'm gonna try and also keep an eye out for anyone watching me as I get around town.
Awesome. We're gonna come back to you when you manage to
Yeah.
find the end of this trail. We're gonna return to the manor where the 4 of our other coterie members are staying. Just as a quick mention, Lucina was in the library with you, but would not approach Aurora if Aurora does not approach first to talk.
As soon as Aurora sees her, Aurora takes the deepest sighs. I'm sure it was heard, because vampires don't breathe. And tries to avoid her because she is not presentable. She's not her Toreador face, and sort of just hides somewhere. One of the bookshelves.
All right. Lucina makes no moves as if they've recognized your presence or anything like that. You see they are just reading from a small book. Seems to be in French. I don't know if your character speaks French.
Glyza doesn't speak French, so probably not. I don't know.
All right. You don't recognize any of the words on the cover.
Awesome.
What are you looking for in the library?
I'm going to look for a book that I've been using and researching for a while now. It's a book on kindred weaknesses.
Interesting. Is there any particular weakness you want to look up?
Specifically, my own weakness, where I am, where if I get staked, I will not be put in torpor. I would just die.
All right. Just a quick aside. I realized I was saying the wrong NPC's name. It is Valena, not Lucina. That is a different character.
Aha!
You know how it is with powerful women. You just girl bosses.
Wow, Milan confirmed saying all women are alike to him. Okay, cool, got it. Wow, geez, you heard it right here, folks.
Listen, girl bosses are all mommy. It's okay.
All right.
You know what,
Like their name immediately is
Who is
with your brain.
So, I don't know who Lucina is. I just assume. Who is Lucina?
Lucina is another character you have not met. Valena is who is in the library.
Right, I understand. Valena is, the sire, but in my head, I was like, who
that
I
is?
assume it's the sire. It's fine.
Just some random person I've never met. It's fine. They're in the library. It's fine.
Anyway, go ahead.
As you're reading this book, you get to the section you bookmarked that this is an occult tome written by Kindred that you managed to acquire through one favor or another. You go back to the section where you read there are certain rituals which can fortify a body against a single stake. As for removing the weakness, you find no mention of it, although you do see there is one thing about gaining weaknesses in here, and you quickly scan it. It appears that sometimes when a diablerie does not go entirely correctly, an individual can gain some of the vulnerabilities of the person they have diablerized without realizing it.
Curiosity.
Whilst it is
I
not currently applicable to you, that is something to note.
Out of curiosity, this does inspire something in me. I do start wondering if weaknesses can be passed on through diablerie, maybe strengths can be as well. And I think about a way to find a strength that would, protect that from happening. And
Oh,
I write that down just to note, like maybe I would have to do something unthinkable.
Yeah. Unthinkable thing may be good, question mark?
Unthinkable thing? Question mark. Actually, it's D. Unthinkable thing? Question mark. That's what is on my notes. Do I do the D so that whoever sees it
Yes.
would just be like,
yes.
I
Yes.
understand. That is on purpose. Do I do the D so that if anybody sees it, they'll just think Aurora is being whatever. That's great.
all right. As you're writing down about D and
Mm-hmm.
other things, we're going
It's
to come
actually
back.
the number 8 and then equal sign. Sorry. Stop.
Equals-
And then a couple of tilde marks after it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. All right. The rest of the manor is relatively quiet, except for the very soundproofed room that DJ happened to find. Still, with the volume, there's a very, very faint. It's not the music that comes through, but more the vibrations of these large speakers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What are the rest of you doing?
DJ is in a work pit for a while.
I guess I better go bother my sire, I suppose.
Well, you and Umar are standing together at this point. You could.
Fair enough. Then I'm not talking to my sire. Fantastic, wonderful, lovely. Thank you.
No reason not to.
Happy to serve as an escape route. Umar has definitely like come into like a main area. So that if the others want to come and find her, they absolutely can. And she is definitely talking as much through. I think over the past couple episodes, she's also done a little bit of research. She's also, done a little bit of digging. She has a little bit of anarch historian in her, so she's, kind of dug into that a little bit. And she's gonna talk through exactly what happened to her because the literal Catholic guilt that she got smacked with is not something that vampires commonly get to experience, but it is one of the things that when church type figures are able to wield it on Kindred, can definitely fuck a bitch up. And so she will turn to Malcolm and she will explain exactly who the priest was and how she is completely confident that that man is a member of the Society of Leopold and that that man is probably also the person who has been giving out the drugs to people that have been making them shockingly powerful for humans. In Uma's mind, all of this makes complete sense at this point, because what better way to take a kindred down than to become as powerful as a kindred? And that seems to be the sort of thing that people like the Society of St. Leopold would do. These are the kinds of people that would not be afraid to become like kindred if that is what it takes to destroy Kindred. Their belief in the church, their religious belief, is so extremist that she would not put it past them. And she explains exactly the fact that she had a cross held up to her and what that experience feels like. And that we should not take this man lightly if we attempt to hunt him down.
As Dustin is hunting him down.
As this is
It also
Hello.
mean it would also mean they're capable of starving us. If they can make it harder for us to feed, then the most powerful among us will be fine. But lesser kind will, well, become easy pickings, I assume. It's a clever plan. Admirable, almost.
I agree.
Well, whatever this person may be, Dustin will find them and we'll have more information then. For now, all wars require intelligence.
So sit tight, huh?
That would seem to be the plan. Does not mean we have to be idle, though.
What have you got in mind?
Information gathering, contact searching. There are a few friends I have in high places I can speak to. If this one intends to have influence among the mortals, then perhaps we make it harder for them to access the flock.
Care for some company while you do that?
I wouldn't like to leave you alone for much longer. Last time I did that, bad things happened.
Well, then consider me your arm candy for the evening.
Uma,
Yes.
your cellular telephone buzzes.
Lord
Your
me.
cellular telephone. Your mobile phone.
Your
Mobular is
morbular
perfect.
device.
I'm gonna talk like
Morbid
Malcolm out here.
time. It is Morbin time with your mobular phone.
I thought I was high on the flu meds. God damn.
Holy shit! Oh
Talking
my
like Malcolm
god,
out here.
wow!
Cellular telephone.
Ring, 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 banana phone? You're
Why did that
welcome.
get me, man?
Oh,
Good God. Okay. Yes.
You see, you didn't save this number, but you know exactly who it is.
Mm.
Or no, you did actually save their number. You used like a specific emoji for them, didn't you? It's your Russian friend, Alexei.
Ah, yes. Yes, Alexei, because we wanted to talk to the man in black, didn't we? Oh.
The way they
That come
text,
from?
almost like their accent comes through. Maybe that is because they're still using a flip phone and they haven't upgraded yet.
Or in
But you,
Mother phone need you. I don't know.
I pressed the 6 like 4 times to get that T if you really want.
yeah, exactly. It simply says, "I'm due for a restock tonight. If you're around, can coordinate with you if you really want to get a glimpse of the man."
Yes, I will be there. Without the accent. Yes, I will be there.
Yes,
You almost
I
spell it
will be there.
Y-E-E-S. You're like, no.
Yes.
Aren't y'all glad I made it?
We love to have you here. This is amazing.
Oh my lord. Yes, I I will be there. God. Oh boy.
All right.
What?
He just they don't have Google Maps. He types out a physical street cross section down near towards the southern side of the coast.
Perfect. Perfect.
And just the time that says like 2:13 a.m. Strange that it's that specific.
I like it. I like it specific. All right, I'll be there. Not a problem. And I will let Malcolm know that I have a date with the man in black potentially.
I mean,
sure if I'm more jealous or thankful for the opportunity.
I think we should be thankful for the opportunity.
I'll settle.
You have nothing to be jealous about. Yet.
very interesting indeed. I feel like it's at this time that both Aurora finishes reading up on that section about passing weaknesses and has that inspiration about potentially gaining strengths. And DJ also hits like a moment that you feel like, all right, I feel like this is a good enough stopping point for the evening, because if I
Right.
don't, I'm going to be doing this for the next 8 hours.
It's true. So I finished the Carter 4 and I set it down on top of all the other things that I wrote. And I'm like, that's probably the best considering. People are going to love that happy song though. And I'll pull out my Morbular device. And I will text Aurora.
We're all vampires. Like it's.
Yes, what's up?
I'll text Aurora and say, "You still here?"
You immediately get a reply of a smiley face and yes, and then a smiley face with kisses.
Come here for a sec.
All right, and I'm going to sneak out of to make sure that I know she's probably aware that I'm there, but I just really don't want her to see me or like have an excuse. So I'm just gonna like sneak out of the library and head to where DJ is. And
As you're sneaking out,
okay.
you do see that Velena is actually napping in a kind of suggestive position with their legs fully over the arm of a chair.
Since when do Kindred nap?
That's a good question.
When they want to.
I'm going to take like maybe 5-10 seconds and then just go, and then walk out.
This is
All
you should
right.
take a picture. I respect it.
You quickly find the set of stairs that no one ever seems to be able to find because it's like tucked in between like this one sitting area and a bathroom that goes straight down to the floor that DJ's on. And you get there within like way faster than most people would navigate this maze of a house.
And I need to illustrate that as you are approaching, like the nearby paintings are like shaking from the bass and the stereos. All the doors are open, so when DJ sees you, DJ will go, "Oh, cool," and he'll hold his hand out for yours.
Without hesitation, Aurora will give her hand.
And she'll start he'll start walking both of you back into this nearby one of the open rooms and stand you in a particular corner. And there's something about the acoustics in here. In this corner, you can actually like hear at a speaking volume. It's like a little bubble in the sphere of music, basically. And he'll go, "I had a question for you."
All right. And I may have an answer.
Yes. What is because you're not from here. You're from
No.
like right, and you
Sacramento.
got
The
Ooh.
armpit of California.
Uh-huh. I
Sorry,
I'm from,
Sacramento.
Not wrong.
I'm
Sorry.
from Richmond, so it's all good.
Jesus, like shots fired.
But so you like your dads or whatever you call your sires are like they know shit, right?
Yeah.
You
They
ever heard
know
of
a
me
lot.
before?
No.
You want to roll a check to make sure that's true?
I am going to roll a check to make sure that's true, but I'm not going to change my answer.
Okay.
Good.
For Aurora, I feel like this check would just generally be... It'll be an intelligence check and... What do we say? Either... I feel like there are two potential stats for this. Either, like, streetwise, because of the nature of who DJ Green is, or even potentially just politics.
Well,
Although...
my politics is high. I'm okay with that if you're going to make me roll politics. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my intelligence is actually not bad. So it's 7 altogether if we're gonna do that.
Go ahead and roll. This is a pretty hard check.
All right. So I have 1 hunger. That is 6 successes.
6 successes, huh? Yeah, you've heard of DJ Green. In
Yeah.
fact, you've heard about him from one of your fathers, actually. Not that they knew them personally, but just that they're aware of who they are. Vaguely. Strange, they've been active in many places across the country, bouncing from area to area. You know what? What do you feel like 6 successes would Aurora glean from that? Why don't you lead what information they'd get, D?
I feel like on top of what you have said, you would have heard that DJ's not allowed in Texas.
Good.
I don't think you would have heard why, but you would have heard like, yeah, this person's been around the U.S. like Milan mentioned, and also it's like, yeah, but they're barred from Texas, right? Like, probably something like that with 6.
Yeah, I don't say that at all. I just say, no, I don't know much about you. This is the first time I've heard about you, actually.
Okay, good. That's actually a good thing. I'm a behind the scenes person, right? I don't get in front of cameras. That's not really a thing that I do. So, I also wanted to ask, have you heard of Uma?
I'm going to roll again just to see if I know anything about Uma.
I feel like that one's going to be a little harder for you because Uma runs in a very, very different circle than you.
Cool. Am I still gonna keep my dice pool?
Yeah, use the same dice pool there.
Well, it's okay because I got 2 successes this time around. No, I have no idea about Uma other than what I do know just now, being here.
Okay, well that could be a good thing. Could be a bad thing. Shit. Okay.
DJ,
Yes. Hi. What's up?
not that I don't enjoy answering questions from, very attractive people. But what is the point of this?
It's kind of a whole thing.
Mhm.
I can't really. Kindred don't really like me in Texas anymore.
Mm.
So, like, all right, Malcolm, I think, is like the only person here that knows this, but I'm actually excommunicated from the Camarilla. There was a little dispute, let's say.
Mm.
Some people are really good. You know those people who are really good at making enemies everywhere they go?
Yeah.
I'm not a good person to have as an enemy because I don't play that shit. You know what I mean? So things happen, people got various pairs of underwear in a twist.
Or
It's whatever. I think if you haven't heard of me, then that's a good start. I think I'm going to have Uma try and make me a blank body. Just like wipe my shit. That's the.
So you could go
please.
back to Texas?
I don't necessarily want to go back to Texas because Texas is like Texas.
Of course. Texas is
But
Texas.
by the same token, I go wherever the fuck I want. I would just rather there not be a problem if I have work in Texas. There are a couple Houston rappers that I've been looking to, blow up here recently. So be helpful if I could go there myself. If not, then I'll just bring them here. It's not that big of a deal.
Mhm.
You look like you ready to go to the convenience store. You look Let's
Yeah.
we dressed down today. I like it.
Oh, you do? I don't
Yeah.
I don't usually show this side of me.
Yeah, I mean the glitz and the glam is cool, but like who the fuck wants to go out every night? It gets old after a while.
Yeah,
Good.
you could say that.
Good to know there's depth.
Maybe good for you. I don't know if it's good for me.
I mean, depth is good for everybody involved, generally.
Hmm. Is that all you need?
Oh, I probably shouldn't cause trouble here. I'm just about finished, so if we can find the rest of them, we could probably do whatever we got to do next.
Hmm. I'm going to lean in, give DJ a hug, and say, whisper, you can always cause trouble anywhere. And I will walk out, hoping that DJ follows. And try to look for the others, I guess.
Does DJ
DJ
immediately follow, or
No, DJ will watch Aurora walk away for like a good, probably like 10 seconds, and just mutter to himself and say, "Stick in pajama pants," and then we'll follow after Aurora.
speaking of the rest, we're gonna move from that scene across town. It's been about an hour of walking when you've made it to where the footsteps begin to slow down and stop completely. You find yourself at a Christian non-denominational way house.
Hmm.
The steps very, very clearly lead inside. But before I describe what you see inside, we're gonna take a quick break, everybody. We'll be back 5-10 minutes. Just stick around to figure out what happens next. And welcome back, my tasty little morsels, to the second half of this episode. Is that a bit too charged to say that to the audience?
I don't know.
No, no, it's fine. Go ahead, have fun.
I've said worse things in this stream.
In particular.
Also true, but that's okay.
All right. So we pick up back again with Dustin standing outside this way house. You see the very clear markings that this is a Christian institution run by a church, which you notice is 300 feet across the way. There's a small, like, space, empty lot in between with some grass growing and just wild weeds just plucked up. It's late now, so you don't see any people active, but you see a light on inside of the way house.
Yeah. For now, I'd like to basically stay across the street, I guess, or at least a distance. And first thing would be text just the name of this way house and address to actually probably Uma as someone that he's trusts to pay attention to this, but isn't his boss Malcolm, who probably doesn't want to be bothered too much by the nitty gritty of this investigation. Dustin doesn't know how a note app works, so he just texts it to Uma must research this, leaving this as a note for myself later.
Thumbs up emoji.
He doesn't even look for a response. He's like, this is not important. Phone is closed before, as soon as he's done, he's like, I don't know. Phone away. And then, it's just going to be some very careful recon of the outside of the building, see if these tracks stay here. Did he sleep here last night and didn't leave the next day entirely? I'm going to try and get the background of the building to see stuff like that.
It does definitely seem like there are no tracks that lead out from this way station. Give me a wits awareness.
All right. Where is? I got 2 successes. Oh, and a critical success on the blood die.
Oh, excellent.
Interesting.
That is a brute. For those of you not in the know, in the game Vampire the Masquerade,
Bestial
rolling a
success.
crit on your hunger die indicates a brutal critical, which means you succeed in a
no.
particularly monstrous or devastating way.
Oh no.
That's not good.
As you're looking around, to be fair, no, you actually, yeah, I'm gonna make you do this. Roll me a stealth check, a dexterity stealth as well, alongside this.
That is 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. Dustin, you strain your ear because you swear you're picking up something from the second floor. Almost reflexively, your legs tense and you jump and you grab onto the window. Not visible to anyone inside or anything like that, to listen. That's when a faint smell hits your nose. That is the man from last night. He is certainly in the room opposite you. You can't see inside the room, but you can smell him and you can hear him moving around. Clearly, he's getting dressed because you hear the sound of fabric being draped and pushed and strained.
If I'm already up here on the... Oh, sorry. Finish.
I was going to say, but you notice now, you see from the spot you jumped, there are there's a very clear strain on the concrete, or the asphalt here, actually, as it is abundantly clear this is not a part of town that gets repaved very often. And you just put a sudden and immense amount of strain. There's almost like a divot of impact where you jumped from. It doesn't look conspicuous, but it's certainly evident to an observant person that something here recently happened.
I don't like that. Well, I'm already up on the side of this building, right?
Mhm.
I might as well. Is it like far to the roof? Can I like climb up to the roof and maybe wait this out a bit?
Yeah, you can get on top of the roof. It does strike you that might not be the best idea, seeing as how there are other buildings taller than this nearby. That if someone were to look out, they would just see a strange individual creeping on a roof for a place.
Well, I guess, is this like a pointed roof, or is it like a roof people can normally stand on?
It is a slanted roof.
Well then, unless there's like a good place to hunker down, then yeah, that would look weird. I kind of assumed it was a flat top roof.
No, this is an old building. This almost looks... The church and this together looks like they've been here for a long time. Almost like it's been untouched since fires and the earthquakes that have rocked San Francisco since its beginning.
Are there any like alleyways across the street or other like good hiding spots?
Go ahead and roll me another check for that. That would be... Yeah.
Awareness wit still, or awareness intelligence?
No, that'd be intelligence investigation.
Uh-huh. I got a crit fail on the blood die, but 2 crit successes and a regular success on the regular ones.
Interesting.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
You are rolling something special tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let me see if I
Very
can...
volatile.
I'm having a day, all right?
You're having a day.
Someone was mean to Uma, and I'm hunting this man.
Oh.
Fair.
Oh.
Because it's how Dustin shows that he cares, is by solving the problem so you don't have to emotionally process it.
So, you do have the opportunity Oh no, you got 5 successes though alongside the bestial. Okay. hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I had 2 critical successes and a regular success.
So it's still a success.
Hmm.
This bestial failure does not actually impact you that much, but you
Okay.
quickly ascertain there's not a reason. You're like, you realize you're exuding so much energy of like an animal, a predator type animal that like
Hmm.
you don't think you can calm yourself down enough to to actively hide enough without someone noticing you and being actively afraid of you.
Well, if I could do like the building and a once over, and he did not leave this building for like 24 hours since the art show, then I might just like grumpily back off of like I'm not in the right headspace to really hunt this guy.
You're smart enough to realize this.
Yeah.
This is a person who makes their trade on stalking creatures of the night. They would by all means try to match your schedule. The
Mhm.
day for them would simply be a time to rest, and the night would be the time for them to continue their grisly work. You also get the feeling that this individual's advanced age means they would certainly need more rest.
But also means they probably know what they're doing if they're old and still doing this.
That is correct.
All right. Well, this might be all I can get. So now, with that one note sent to Uma and all that information I could gather, I'm gonna head back to do some regular old research about this church. I'll also put down the name of the church right next to it, just because I assume they're affiliated. But
You get the feeling they're affiliated. They seem to be made of a similar construction. This church is just simply named the Church of San Francisco. Just something basic. You don't see any particular Christian denomination. It doesn't seem like particularly Catholic or Protestant or anything like that. Just
to be fair, Dustin wouldn't know one way or the other. He'd be like, it's
fair.
Christian.
And that's the sense you get.
Yeah, I'll head back.
All right.
I have to walk back to my hearse, which takes forever, but
We're going to return back to the manor. Is anyone heading out or doing anything in particular by the time Dustin makes their way back?
I mean, I know Malcolm wanted to contact some allies.
That's correct.
That's the thing. Yeah, I did want to reach out to a few people that I know, people who might have. Yeah, in particular, I want to contact whoever amongst my network of peers can get me an audience with the mayor of this city.
The mayor of the city, you say?
Yeah.
That is interesting. Now, remind me, you have a particular advantage towards this, correct?
Got what's the one? Respected, influential, the one where people like me a lot. I got 3 dots in that.
That is correct.
And what about your character? But
Oh,
you
yeah.
got 3 dots in there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guaranteed hearing respectfully through my influence on the mortal realm. My money and status ensure that. So I can
Excellent.
people want to do stuff for me and talk to me because I'm real cool, I guess.
In fact, you barely even need a middle person for this.
Sweet.
Other than like obviously the mayor's secretary or whoever does
his schedule.
Fair enough. I'll take a phone call. I don't need an in-person audience.
Well, do you have a preference? Malcolm definitely seems like the up close and personal type.
It really depends. Yeah, well, yeah, I'll go in person, but I don't mind. Given the expedience of the matter and how soon I need things done, I wouldn't mind a phone call. It's fine. Either way.
Awesome. I'm not going to make you roll for anything for this. You can gain a you're told you can have a 5-minute phone call with the mayor. As obviously this is a major city, they'd be pretty busy, but that's a significant chunk of time.
5 minutes is 3 more than I need. I honestly, address the mayor respectfully and calmly as possible. The mayor knows who I am and the pull that I have around here, and so I'll make my request simple. For some reason or another, the streets need to be on lock for a while. Whatever reason you can find, whether it's rising unrest, if there is no unrest, then rise it, or some other crime spree, if there is no crime, create it. Whatever the case, there needs to be a curfew put in place here for as long as possible.
All right. The mayor at this time, since this is an alternate history, is not the mayor that it normally would be. Answers the phone. Yeah, you know what I think would be a good lockdown? We can say quarantine, Folks would listen if there's some sort of virus or pandemic and they need to stay at home for a little while.
You would
Yes,
think.
I'm certain the panic would cause most, if not all, individuals to remain in their homes until the situation
You
becomes
would
better.
think.
Yes? Certainly.
For
Only
sure.
the foolish and absolutely idiotic would remain outside during a quarantine order.
All right. I am going to need. This is a big favor you're asking. I'd be calling in some help from the CDC in particular. I've had my eye on a particular piece in your collection last time.
It's the one from Moldova, isn't it?
That is correct. It would look great in my office. In addition, this time you'll come to one of my fundraising dinners for my re-election.
I'll allow both of these turns if you humor me on exactly one thing. The Moldova piece, it's commemorative, meant to celebrate the heroes lost during the Civil War. You wouldn't happen to have a close estimate of the casualty count there, would you? It's fine if you don't, I'm just curious.
The amount of people. I'll be honest, history was not my strong suit. I don't know how many lives lost. 1, maybe 2 million is what they say.
Militarily, 37,427 combatants. Civilian numbers are still being counted to this day. Thank you for humoring an old man. The piece will be yours.
I'll make the order tonight. I'll draft up a press release. I have people for this.
I appreciate your cooperation as always.
And I look forward to your contributions to my re-election, Mr. Duvernay.
We'll speak then.
It's going to take a while for this to go in effect,
Mm-hmm.
but by the time that Dustin would have returned home is when the first mentions of this would have hit the news cycle.
Totally fine. He honestly wouldn't say anything until the news starts coming out anyway. And I guess outside of that, I don't know. Probably go bother my sire at some point, like I mentioned previously, but I'm fine holding that off for as long as human or inhumanly possible.
Right before you go, I think DJ comes up to you as you're wrapping up that phone call and will say, it'll sort of like half smile and go, I appreciate your cooperation as always. Does that count if they don't really have a choice?
I found the best thing about mortals is the way they fabricate the illusion of choice for themselves, and how fun it is to rip it away.
It's amazing how much work they'll do for you if you just set the scenario right.
Oh, my love. You give a human a large enough carrot on a far enough stick, and they'll spill blood for it.
And DJ will like 1,000-yard stare for 5 seconds and go, right. So I got a couple of opinions on Uma, and I think
Uma's there, to be clear.
okay, and I think I'm clear to use her services. Her services? She her?
Yeah.
She her.
Cheer.
Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Um,
Yeah, I was gonna grab you a friend. Was the plan?
Yes. And that got me thinking, Mr. Duvernay. You've been around for a long time. You
74 years.
do you have any experience with blank bodies?
Experience, yes. Positive experience. Not as much.
Hmm. How effective are they usually?
Well, in my early years, I found them not only an efficient means of easy travel without too many questions being asked, they also form a very easy barrier of trust, as I've found, amongst those who don't think as we do. The one thing more confiding than someone you know is someone you can't know.
Yeah. Okay. And DJ will look down at his phone real quick and say, I think Dustin just got back. He's got something he wants to tell us.
Nicholas, we should assemble in the TV room then. I never use it.
And
See?
Yeah, I have a TV. Several TVs.
Damn.
amazing. DJ will like scroll up in his text thread with Alize, past the art installation invitation, and we'll go up to their previous conversation. And it is a text message from Alize that says it's an address and says at least once a month, right? And it's an address in Dallas, Texas. And the response from DJ was just, yeah, I'll look at flights starting tomorrow.
Hmm.
And then I'll just tuck the phone in my pocket. Go to the TV room.
This TV room is definitely... These are very nice TVs, but you get the feeling there's a fine layer of dust on everything because this place is not touched. And also, you start to wonder why someone would have multiple TVs in one room, except for like a very few specific occasions, and your mind only goes to the fact that actually, why is there a whole room dedicated to multiple TVs? Why don't you tell me, Malcolm?
Primarily because Malcolm consumes multiple news stations at one time and from multiple different countries. So he just has various. Usually, whenever he does use it, it's just sitting in there and taking in information from around the world on various events and occurrences and things. Otherwise, because it makes me look rich, duh, the fuck?
Yeah.
Motherfucker's got one
This is-
TV in his room. I got 7. The fuck? Step your shit up. Like,
So you see they're organized in such a way almost like a digital panopticon, because there's one sofa, and that if you lean back you can see all 7 at once, as if you're able to glean information, if a brain could even process that at all at the same time.
Some Sherlock Holmes shit.
But the 5 of you are gathered in this room.
Yeah,
A few extra,
that's what you finish.
almost silently, a few extra chairs were just dragged and placed in so that there's room for all of you.
I had a quick question. I know a while ago I asked to like send out a request to contact like the Thin Bloods that I know,
Mhm.
and I assume I haven't heard back from them.
No, you did hear back from them. You got a couple names, didn't you?
I don't believe that we talked about that, but I might have misremembered. It is not in my notes.
Well, you did get a name, and this is actually the Kindred who was at the art installation, you know they are a thin blood.
Yeah. But I mean, did he so he's been attacked by some of the superpowered kind? That was the thing I was asking them about.
Oh, that in particular. You didn't get many reports on that.
Ah.
But you were told that like this person knows something about it.
Oh, well, I wish I would have known that when I sent at the party. Yeah, then I think just as he enters, he's called his one of his contacts amongst the thin bloods, and he's you just hear him be like, "Brayla, I need to talk to this Devon guy again. I didn't have a chance during the thing about the whole kind attacks. I've met him exactly once, and it'd be better if you were here as sort of an intermediary. Call me back when you can. Thanks, bye." As he just leaves a message, hangs up.
As you send that message out, you now all group together. You will receive a text in the next 6 hours, let's say. They're kind of a recluse. I don't have a direct line, but I know where they hang out.
I'll get to that in a minute. We're gonna have a meeting.
All right. You're all in the TV room. Are the TVs on?
Aurora would have turned them on because she was the first one there.
All of
What,
them?
what are you putting on the TVs?
All kinds of trash reality TV.
So it's
No.
okay. So you got Jersey Shore on one, Real Housewives on another. I think Honey Boo Boo was running at this point, so there's another there.
No.
My grandmother's house.
Yeah. I think the scene closes his turns his phone off and just, do you really need to be watching all of these at once?
Please.
Maybe.
Please. My ears. Please. My eyes. Please.
All right. And then I turn it off.
My soul.
The last image you see on one of the TVs is the crop top on a child at a beauty pageant, and it's just
Yep.
awful.
Hate it.
Trauma.
I just like to remind myself that I'm not the only monster here.
This is fair, but it also makes me appreciate that I don't generally drink directly from the kind. If any number of them are like that, gesturing the TV that once had that on.
Get to learn things.
I'm sure you do, but I've learned important things. Sorry, sir.
Speaking of the flock, the news, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, well, I have followed this Father Strictus. He seems to live in a halfway house run by the Church of San Francisco. I was planning on going to the library and finding any news stories I could on them. Someone who's maybe a little better at this whole internet thing could also do the same.
Interesting.
Okay. I mean, was the dude in there?
Yes, I unfortunately left a little more evidence than I wanted to while I was searching for him. So I decided it'd be easier to fall back and come at him at a different angle at a different time when he's going to be a little less aware.
I mean, I feel like this is pretty simple, right? We just roll up, pop this dude's head like a Pez dispenser, and keep pushing, right?
Excuse you. I don't think we can roll up and pop this dude's head like a Pez dispenser. You saw what he did to me.
I mean, yeah, but
At range,
One
handgun.
cross.
I get what you're saying.
One of
Deej.
these little thingies, and we all go running.
What's the effective range of a cross? I never tested
I
that.
bet it's less than a sniper rifle.
It's like an AoE attack, for Christ's sake. I can't believe I just said that to you.
What is this AoE attack? I've never played video games before.
Oh, that's like World of Warcraft shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
True.
I feel like I'm the only person in this room that's actually going to understand what an AoE attack. Come on.
I mean, Aurora, you seem
But-
like you probably play games.
Or do you play video games?
Yeah. Mostly
Mm.
Stardew Valley, though.
As fascinating
That's
as
fair.
this is for
Anyways.
conversation, perhaps we focus on matters more appropriate.
Yes,
Right.
and
Yes.
to Uma's
Vein
point,
twitching in his forehead.
yeah, and to Uma's point, we could perhaps, as you said, DJ, just kill him. But if he's part of an organization, I would rather learn more about him and get a chance to either question him or search his room. We may actually need one of our human associates to do that, considering it seems like he is asleep during the day like we are.
I thought, well, regardless of when he sleeps, we'll draw him out sooner or later, if Uma's theory is to be believed. If our individual is the one handing out whatever drug is allowing the mortals to become more powerful, he will have slightly more trouble finding supplicants these days.
Did you say?
Hmm?
Uma's brain does the ticky 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 click 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 thing.
Yes, that thing.
And
That thing.
the I don't know what to call that. Suddenly turns to Dustin. Out of character. I'm sorry. I just cut you off. Please finish your sentence before I start talking.
Ah, it's all good. Do the thing. Your thing
Are
seems
you
like it's
sure?
really important.
Okay. Turns to Dustin and goes, "Did you say he sleeps during the day?"
I'm assuming he's either hunting us or interacting with us. So yeah, he was waking up when I was there.
I mean, what is this motherfucker Wesley Snipes? Like,
No, but this motherfucker might be a ghoul.
You didn't
just
smell any ghoulification on this individual.
Damn. Okay, so he's just extra weird.
He could be Wesley Snipes-ish of at least the part where he hunts vampires, which, yeah, then you'd sleep during the day if you were doing that.
I guess. I mean, I still think the easiest solution is to kill this dude, but I do recognize that more information would probably help us in the long run. So, I what I can tell you is I've got access to most of the bleeding edge recording devices in the world. So, if we can get someone kind to go in there, I could get a bug to plant, and we could maybe hear what's going on. That's the best I got. I don't do the solid snake shit. So,
Fair.
If the order of the matter is reconnaissance, we can draw this person out easily. In fact, I've already taken the steps. If someone would please turn on the nightly news.
oh wait. No. I got it. I love this part. Alexa, turn on CNN. Watch.
Are we post Alexa? Is that a thing?
No, we're not. That's the thing. Is that Malcolm's just like that far with the money?
I got the fucking prototype Alexa 30 years before it dropped.
Alexa was
dropped in
released in 2014, and it's currently about
2011, I think we said?
I think it's 2012.
Not the
2012.
Yeah, exactly. I got the fucking prototype. You mean?
So there have been commercials
Alexa
for when
now,
Alexa
you know?
will come out.
Right. There have been those headlines in the paper and shit.
Oh, shit.
And as soon as it turns on, DJ goes over to Malcolm, goes, "Ooh, clean," dabs him up.
Despite not breaking character at all, Malcolm perfectly does the handshake, like, finger snap and everything. Like, no,
Right, yeah.
it's a black
Really
man's
not-
tradition, okay? It's the, you
course.
can't just not know what the handshake. It's a
Course.
requirement.
Somatic components.
Exactly.
I do
Literally.
love it. Just
You mean?
Those of you outside the handshake look and you see one of the Valkyries has the remote in hand and has turned on the TV. And for Aurora,
The
you know
remote.
this one is actually named like Alexis.
Oh!
Lord have mercy.
Close enough.
What
In
do we
either
see on the
case,
news?
with the news on, you would all probably notice the mayor giving out, quarantine orders and telling people to remain in their homes for word of some new airborne and possibly very deadly virus that, despite not having a high mortality rate, definitely requires them to stay inside to keep themselves and other people around them safe.
Oh, well, that'll definitely keep people off the streets. For
100%.
sure.
Actually, since it's period appropriate, it's the bird flu.
Oh,
Yeah, remember that?
God.
Remember that?
Remember bird
I
flu?
remember how it wasn't a problem because we took appropriate steps
Lord.
and quarantined and such.
Rex. A new
God.
strain of bird flu has been spotted in San Francisco. The CDC advises that people stay in their homes as much as possible and limits their gathering indoors.
I haven't used the pandemic
shit.
excuse in a while, but it's effective when it works.
Yeah, I mean that's a good start. Empty out the streets for sure.
Secondly, if anyone's going to be out, I'll ensure it's my Valkyries. If anyone can hold their own against a rogue vampire or our associate, it's one of them. They're also all set to ping me whenever anything happens to them, so assuming our partner takes the bait, as it were, we'll know as soon as we have a bite.
What in particular are you trying to get this individual to do now with the quarantine active?
Mostly, I want to see if I can confirm Uma's theory. If we can confirm that OG is handing out handing out the good work to the people, I want to know specifically what his patterns are for doing that. Like, does he have a certain place he goes to hand out the drugs to the people? How does he go about that process? How does he pick people for it? You mean what's his overall? And if I can, maybe any leanings on like I think we kind of already know why he's doing it, but if there's a deeper layer to that, I wouldn't mind getting a little hint at that. You mean?
All right. And remind me, did Uma tell anyone about the potential meeting?
Told Malcolm,
I
I remember.
told Malcolm. I do intend to go.
Yeah, I was gonna let you bring that up because that was your thing.
Yeah. I will tell everybody. Actually, I do not mind. This is not a secret. I want to meet Black.
Well, seems like we have our tasks then. If we can get the Valkyries and whoever would like to go with them to possibly tail this priest, I'm going to go research the organizations he lives with and works for and see if they have any greater connections. And some of us should go meet that man in black, yes?
Sounds like that is at least your plan for now. So who would be going towards the meeting and who would be staying?
I mean, I think I have to go to the meeting. Everyone else
Right.
with me.
Malcolm would make it known that while he would like to go to the meeting because it would be good, he does not. He has other things to take care of. If we're facing an organizational level threat, then we'll need organizational level allies, and well, I happen to have a few. So I think that's going to be mostly my thing. I want to do. So I'll be staying back, but he would. It wouldn't be an order because he's not. He only does that to Dustin, but he would heavily suggest that Aurora go with Uma because if someone's going to go, he'd like someone to keep you safe.
Well, I mean, if you suggest that.
Aurora instead of a Valkyrie?
I mean, they're going too.
All right. Aurora, by the way, go ahead and roll me a rouse check and then resolve plus aspects.
Awesome. What's the rouse check again? Just the normal
D10,
one.
see if you
D10,
get
right?
hungry or not.
Cool.
Just one die.
Unless you have more than one
It is a
hunger.
success. And then
You're
what
fine.
was the other one? Resolve and aspects?
Or no,
That is correct.
what am I talking about? It's not right.
Resolve.
Rouse checks are always one dice.
Yes, that is. I don't know.
Except if you have advantage on the roll for a particularly high blood potency.
Where's my aspect?
I think you get that at blood potency 4.
So.
Where is? Okay.
Aspects
3.
would be your special skills.
Yeah.
The MP skills.
That is a 5 success, and one of those is a bestial.
Ooh,
Oh.
saucy.
Nom 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 nom.
So I am going to make you gain a hunger anyway because of the bestial
Sweet.
success. Your mind flashes to some of the things that are being described. And you actually begin to put it, well, you don't exactly put it together. When you're using this premonition, what does Aurora see? Is it brief flashes? Is there some sort of Sherlock-esque mind palace? How does premonition work for you?
When on days when the Malkavian blood in her is stronger, um there is moments of like where her eyes just sort of like roll up and all you see is white, and she does look like she's frozen in space in place. She's just sitting down, and her eyes are wide are open, but all you see are the whites, and it does look like she's just sitting up as straight as she can be. And in her mind she sees flashes of different scenes. um Usually she doesn't understand what the scenes are, but it is just different flashes, different um sometimes words, um sometimes just colors, but they're all just really quickly. And usually at the end of it, what basically, have you watched I mean, you've all watched that show, Raven, what's that, the
That's the
thing?
A raven?
Yeah, that's a Raven. But
Yay!
like
I'm African
scary.
American, so yes, I've seen it.
Thank you. Yes. That's a Raven. That's basically it, but she's scary looking right now. So this is the first all y'all have seen this. By the way, so
You flash to a few specific scenes. Some of them you've experienced yourself, and some of them are not your perspective. You see the Way House that Dustin described. You see the interrogation of Alexei from Uma's perspective. You get a third-person view of that time you were at the club with. Was it Reyna in particular? I think was the Valkyrie you were with. And some things begin to be put together. You get the feeling these threats, you've put them together because they seem to be happening at the same time. And you put something together. You see a young woman, dark brown hair, some tan complexion, a strong nose. She's running. She looks scared. You recognize her as a kindred. No sweat. The breathing is still slow despite clearly straining, as if something else is powering their movements. They're being pursued. This is not San Francisco. This is somewhere in NorCal. And then you get an insight. You see this person do the same act as you're doing. Their eyes roll back into their head. The whites of them, they're having a premonition much like you are. And they turn to where you're observing. Sister. While you know not their face, you know who they are. The man looking for you is not what you think they are. And then they just repeat. The sins of our fathers passed down to us. The sins of our fathers passed down to us. And it repeats and repeats until you're pulled back. One thought does linger with you from your meeting with in the club again with those two you met. You remember Kyle and Percy talking. And then you remember finding Alexei. You remember Alexei mentioned something in particular. When Alexei was describing the man in black, he did say they had the smell of kindred on them. You did not smell that from the father.
When the vision ends and I fall on my knees, I do repeat the sins of the father passed down to us, and then I open my eyes, and I look around to see if anybody noticed that it happened. Hard to miss, but you know.
Malcolm does cut his eyes over immediately and just kind of concerned, just another premonition.
I'll help Aurora up.
Another premonition?
Or just like asking, like, I'm assuming this has happened to you before?
No, this is the first time you've seen it.
Oh, well,
Oh.
then he's suddenly incredibly concerned.
I will. No, actually, you don't have that much interaction with Blank.
What manner of... What was that? Are you well?
I'm. It's a gift from one of my fathers.
Elaborate.
I see. My other father is a Malkavian, my other sire. They see things, as you know. And the man that Alexei was talking about, I remember he mentioned that they smelled of kindred. But the father that we met has no scent on them like that. I think it might be two separate situations.
And there's another force at play here.
If your side tells you so, then I am hard pressed to disagree. Either way, it sounds like we better go meet him.
Well, yeah, is this future sight a well-known thing of like the Auspex discipline, or is this pretty secret?
The powers of Auspex are mysterious in the way they work.
Okay.
Simply because the way a lot of kindred who aren't of this pact, because Auspex belongs to a few specific clans, are often dubious of it. One, because the idea of premonition and seer and future telling flies in the face for a lot of people the concept of free will.
Mhm.
But it is said, and all of you would know this, that those who are powerful in Auspex can see the future and even to a point sense things that no one should be able to see or perceive.
I guess my question would be more as a Tremere, one of the clans that has Auspex, would I be suspicious of this future sight and how accurate it is?
How many dots do you have in Auspex?
Only one.
Your understanding of Auspex is that it is a perceptive based ability. It
Okay.
enhances your ability to see the world. Those who think those who use it in another sort of way to glean past what is there and what could be, that is a difference entirely based on
Okay.
the level of spirituality you have as a kindred.
So yeah, I do think Dustin, after she gets up, is well, I do think that's a good point, regardless of future vision or no, that this could entirely be two different people, but you'll excuse me if I'm going to look into what I'm investigating regardless.
No, I would never ask you to abandon whatever it is you're looking for. I just think that I would go with Uma to see this man in black. If I was unsure, that sight that I just saw has made me more sure that I would rather see this one through.
Please, yes.
I feel like it's probably not a good idea for y'all to go by yourselves.
I'd feel better having you around.
I'll roll with y'all.
A squad of 2 of Valkyries will follow covertly. They won't be outwardly with you, but should you break into combat, they'll support you.
I've been meaning to ask you about the Valkyrie thing. So like, they all work for you,
Yes.
like all the time.
Yes.
Do they have PTO?
Yes.
Does any of them have a passport?
All of them do.
Okay, where we can talk later.
Okay.
On that note, if I may, Malcolm, we should probably assign one or two to follow Father Strictus as well. He may be less likely to... Or Rictus. I wrote that down wrong.
Rictus, Dictus, it don't fucking matter.
The venal man may be less likely to notice them considering they are not kindred.
You're wise in that regard. Pick any two you feel are appropriate.
And I don't have to do my investigation right now if you need me where you're going.
I wouldn't mind the company. It's been a while since we had some time, just the two of us, yes?
There's a little bit of a sigh, regretfully. Like, this is true. But yeah.
All right. So, are you going with them, Dustin?
Oh,
I'm going to go with Malcolm. Just like
So
as
all
his
of
sort of
you-
head bodyguard.
So at this point, all 5 of you are going to this meeting then?
No,
No.
No?
I'm not going there.
only 3 of us.
Malcolm's going somewhere else. I'm following him.
Malcolm's
Oh.
going to his contacts.
I'm gonna go check in on my
Right, right,
contacts
right.
and get information and shit.
We're going to go with that first then. So,
Okay.
Aurora, Malcolm, and...
Wait, no.
Just Malcolm and Dustin.
Just
wait, I
Malcolm
thought
and
Aurora
Dustin.
was going... So, okay.
Aurora,
Apologies.
Uma, and DJ are going to meet the guy.
My notes were completely backwards, apparently.
Nice. Nailed it. Well done.
So
Great GM.
Aurora, DJ, and Uma are going to the meeting with the Man in Black. The 2 of you are going to meet some other contact of Malcolm's.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to check in with anyone before you leave, Malcolm?
You.
You do, don't you? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Awesome. Okay.
I think as a quick note, as Dustin's following Malcolm, he'd just text Lucinia and be like, "Hey, I need you to do some library research. Just everything you can get on this church and their halfway house. Just when you have the time, not deeply urgent."
Who are you sending this
Just
to?
to my Malwa, Lucinia.
This is Lucina. That's the name I got
Lucina.
backwards.
Yeah, Lucina.
Who will make an appearance in the Chronicle at some point.
Yes, right now she's just more my student and chore gopher. So
All right. Malcolm and Dustin, you two get into one of the cars. I don't think it particularly matters, but it's probably one of the nicer end ones.
I'm gonna check up with what's her name first.
With a Rolls Royce. But which Rolls Royce? I think it depends. We'll go with the cream white one. I haven't taken that one out in a while.
I hate taking that one out. It takes so long to clean.
I mean, obviously, but that's why it's your job and not mine.
All right. You get a classic Rolls Royce and you prep it for driving. Where are they going, Malcolm?
My plan is honestly to go to effectively what looks like it's one of those like really tall like central corporate towers somewhere in the middle of the city. Somewhere up on the upper floors is sort of like a private lounge on like the higher floors above all the offices. It's ostensibly a corporate sort of like like shareholder suite. What it's currently being used for is just a meeting of various influential, powerful, and otherwise shady people all across the city. Your standard wheeling and dealing experience.
Who in particular are you meeting?
The person I'm looking for in this instance is, well, I'm actually not looking for anyone specific personally. What I'm looking for is someone who represents a particular group necessarily. I am looking for someone who would have connections with any one of various, probably South or Central American left-wing revolutionary groups.
Interesting.
For what purpose?
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Very interesting. Okay. As you pull up to this large glass building, you a valet takes the car. There's a parking lot nearby that they very, very delicately drive off towards.
Doesn't give him a look. Don't you dare scratch it.
Clearly intimidated by you, they like shirk away and they no, of course not. And they take they go back to behind the wheel and they drive it. They take time to put like the paper on the floor so that their shoes don't like scuff the carpet at all or anything.
As someone who appreciates luxury.
This building definitely looks closed, and you see the bottom like 90% of this building is a bank. But you walk inside as some people are standing there, and one person in particular, a ghoul, you both can tell, just spots you. You see their nostrils flare as they're clearly identifying who you are, and they just open the elevator behind them.
Malcolm walks past without looking and just says, I appreciate you sparing the groveling this time.
Yeah.
In the elevator, he turns to look at Dustin and just... How long has it been since we've been out like this? Years, it feels like.
Just the two of us on actual honest-to-God business? Maybe.
Honest to God business. Your terminology is wonderfully appropriate.
Well, usually this ends up being some sort of charity function, or you just intimidating a politician, and I'm not sure that that's really business as much as it is pleasure for you, and even sometimes me.
You both. No. I'm not here simply for charity or for negotiating. I have a few ends to check in on. Favors to collect. We are facing a larger threat than even the five of us and my considerable resources can deal with. A threat larger than even this city. Thus, we will need assistance larger than this city. Such as my wager, at least.
I appreciate the concern. Are we sure it's bigger than the city?
Whether it is or not isn't important. It's not a matter of the threat we currently face. It's what it represents. Think of it, Dustin. Mortals empowered such that even vampires can't overtake them easily. A human church so powerful it threatens even the premier of our city. Otherwise, why would she put us to it? Or they put us to it? This represents more than just a threat to vampire kind. It threatens our society as it is. And there are two kinds of people when societies are threatened. Those who collapse with them, and Malcolm offers just the most bloodthirsty smirk he can, and those who control them.
I hate to say it, but I definitely agree. You can either be in control or be left behind.
Wonderful. I'm glad you agree. That's why I'll need a favor.
The hum
Favor.
of the elevator stops.
Before it opens, just the chief of police is attending tonight with some company. I have a favor to collect from him, but before that, the thing he required from you must be done. There's a deputy here with him. Kill him.
In public or quietly?
Dustin, do we do anything in public?
Wanted to know where the police chief is as far as Kindred go.
He's not aware of the truth of my existence, however. He... Let's say that I understand him intimately, as well as those close to him. Understanding someone can be a very useful tool when you need them for things.
Well, all right then. Dustin doesn't look happy about that sudden turn of favor, but doesn't complain.
Thank you, Dustin, as the doors open.
The doors open and you see a long executive table made of mahogany. You're far above where the sign for the bank would be on this building, as it is a few floors below you. This rented space is often just wheeled and dealed out to whoever needs it, depending on the type of business. You see three people chatting. You see one person, the local commissioner of police, a person adjacent to them, looking incredibly uncomfortable, just like minding their business. Really, the conversation is in Spanish between the police chief and a larger, portly Latine man. He seems he has this goatee and this demeanor of like a haggardness to the eyes, but you know who this individual is. Malcolm. This is the person who has quite personally couriered many of the supplies that you've managed to pay for.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll approach the three of them calmly, indicate to the police chief and the man next to them, just wonderful to see you both this evening. I hope you are all well. I know we have business to attend to, and I assure you it will be dealt with post-haste, but for now, let's enjoy ourselves, yes?
The police chief looks and sees Dustin, and then looks at you, Malcolm. Why don't we send our help elsewhere, huh? And the younger individual says, "You told me that you'd answer my questions if I came with you. But please, just go with the friend, my good friend's help."
Justin,
And you
yes,
see this.
if you could bring me a drink, I wouldn't mind.
Very well. Dustin, again, big sigh. Resist the urge to roll his eyes, but
the the young sergeant goes and stands near you, Dustin, and is like, I'm not a fucking assistant. And he goes and he helps you pour out like a couple glasses of whiskey.
it's like, no, he's going to want something special, and Dustin's going to try and lead him into another room.
He's confused enough that there's no roll needed for this.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be like at least like, if I can do some like a little bit of sleight of hand here, and this is mostly for my benefit, can I like bite my thumb so it bleeds a little bit, and then put a hand over his shoulder in a way that he won't notice that I have a little blood on my thumb?
That is definitely gonna be a roll. I would say that is a.
If you allow me, I feel like this could be a larceny resolve, maybe?
I was gonna
But-
say this would be larceny dexterity.
I will take that. That's about the same. Uh, 4 successes.
4 successes. Yeah, you managed to smear a bit of blood on the back of their neck.
Yep. This is just in case this doesn't go the way I want. Classy. And then yeah, just as I lead him away with hand on shoulders, like they just want to talk about all their secret large business stuff alone. I might be able to even help you with some of your questions, depending what they are. I've been working for Malcolm for a long time. I might have seen some of the stuff that you're looking to see. We can be friends. Don't worry about it. And just like lead him away.
We're gonna actually do the scene in the closet that you lead him to really quick.
Well, I mean, it's not empty here, so as soon as there's
It's
like
not really
not
a closet, but it's clearly a smaller space than the executive room. It's just some cubicle that's empty.
well, yeah, I imagine I lead him past his front desk, and then towards like what could be any direction amongst the cubicles, and just Dustin doesn't exactly know what kind of conversation he should strike up in the situation because he's not really used to this kind of deception, but just as soon as they're out of like basic earshot, his grip would just get kind of hard on his shoulder, and you know, people who ask questions don't tend to like the answers that they find.
What the fuck I talked to the commissioner because I told him, "Who the hell are you? What am I doing here?"
I really know about as much as you as to why you're here.
I handed him that fucking report this morning about the corruption in our department.
I think I can assume that that corruption happens to also be about I can't remember which kindred that I know that definitely has the police in their pocket.
It could be any number of them, but
Yeah.
your mind first flashes to potentially either Bones or the doctor.
Mm-hmm. So it's very much a big sigh. And then I'm gonna feed on him. I feel like that's probably the best way to just take this man out quietly.
This is going to be you just like full on just like straight up attack him. All right.
Just bite him. I already have a hand on his shoulder.
So you are still going to make me a strength brawl check. And he's going to resist. He's a lot weaker than you, but he's still going to try.
Yeah, but I'm not super good at this in particular. I did not get any successes.
I gave you one job, Dustin. One job.
I have backups.
He also got 0 successes, and ties go to the runner, so you do manage to clench on. You can go ahead and reduce yourself down to 1 hunger.
I mean, I'm already at the 1 hunger. This is more just this will incapacitate him while I do. If I have a free hand, I'm just going to take the knife and just get him in the neck, the other side where I'm not biting him.
Oh, yeah. His stifled gasp turns to a faint, like, escaping of air from his lips as he dies, essentially, in your arms. Go ahead and incur a stain for me, if you would, Dustin.
Cool. I'm not sure exactly where to do that, but
since Dustin drank someone to expiration, that also means you're down to 0 hunger for the rest of the night, correct?
That is correct. Yes, you fully drained this person.
A stain goes on your willpower as a note. It
cool.
is a stain to your willpower.
Elsewhere, Malcolm just draws in a whiff through his nose and just says, diplomacy.
We're going to come quickly back to the meeting now.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in the meeting, Malcolm?
Oh, I thought you meant with those 3. Okay, cool. No, I mean, I'll keep it pretty straightforward for the sake of like moving the scene along. Honestly, Malcolm's game plan is primarily just to 1, let the police chief know his problem is taken care of, and 2, give him effectively any information that we've gathered on this Father Dictus guy, and just, effectively, not so much, I don't want like an all points bulletin on OG yet, but I do want the police chief aware that this is a target who I am tracking and who I will possibly need assistance dealing with at some point.
I mean, we're going to need a warrant to go into a church, man.
I will get you one.
Don't worry, I can get one. I got a judge or 2 in my pocket, but it's going to take me at least a couple days to get that squared away. It's got to look legit. All right. And you see the man across. So why am I here, my friend?
Malcolm puts a hand on the police chief's shoulder and just says, for a very similar reason as to why he's here. While you're looking into our friend, could you also gather any information he might have as far as personal records, prior living statements, close associates, family members?
Oh, the police chief once again. I can get that to you easy, but
No. Get it to him, putting the shoulder on the other friend. And you get them to me. Whatever means necessary.
Family?
Whatever means necessary.
All right, I mean, if we can grab this dude, we can grab this dude. But you know what I'm gonna need in exchange, bud. And he pinches his fingers for the universal sign for "give me some cash."
He just said, Malcolm just says, Given last estimates of your troop judgments, positionings, and supply runs, you are likely down to about 13 to 45% operational efficiency. I haven't checked it in a while, so my numbers can't be perfect. I can assure you will be at least resupply for the next 3 months. Whatever war you're engaged in some minor nowhere country, I'm sure we'll be fine for a while.
I mean, I wouldn't call Argentina a nowhere country, but
I would. But
All
to be
right.
fair, most places in this world are nowhere countries.
This is going to be a significant decrease. Please mark this down in your notes or something. For the next, let's say, month and 2 months, treat your wealth as 1 dot lower, as you need time for it to build back up.
Oh man, I'm only 3 dots of wealth now. What a
You
shame.
put so much
I'm
wealth.
so poor.
I mean, you can further strain your wealth for other resources, but this is probably going to last you a while for this.
I think that's all I need from him for now, honestly. Other than that, just let him know that if he has other contacts in other, militias or other things, to have
And if
them
we
be in touch with me. That's all.
and if we don't find any family,
Then send a message. I'd like an audience with the father. In fact, you could say I'm demanding one.
getting involved with a man of faith, that's bad luck, my friend.
You've done worse for me.
If you
All in
can't
the name
find
of
the Father,
progress.
find the Son. If you can't find the Son, find the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Make him a Holy Ghost in a second.
I had to be done. It was right there. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
proud of you. Amazing.
All right. As soon as we get it from him, give me a week. I got anything you need.
Nicaragua all over again. Good times, yes.
Hey, I remember when we were locked down in that one small village for 3 weeks. I feel like you there's probably a lot of little Duvernays running around that village now, huh?
You flatter me. And you assume I'm far less careful than I am.
Well, anyway, man.
Safe travels.
Back to it, huh?
Mm.
And he stands up and he just walks off whistling. You're still sitting there with the police chief.
Who I will turn to and just offer a very simple smile and just say, I assume your end of the bargain will also be upheld, yes?
I'll get that warrant and I'll get that information on the dude.
Thank you. It would be a shame if things were to fall apart, so I suggest you not only get it done quickly, but efficiently. It would be a shame if... Never mind. How is young Timothy these days? He must be 13, 14?
It's Tomas and 16, actually.
They grow so fast. Life, so budding, so fickle. Remember that. Good evening.
And he sits there. You sense this with your heightened ability. He is gripping the sides of his seat with like full white knuckles, but says nothing.
And yeah, I'll get up and go fraternize elsewhere for a bit.
It is at this point that Dustin, you come back, wiping the remains of this person off your face. What'd you do with the body?
I feel like the vibe here needs to be put it in like one of those mail like trolleys, and then like roll that into the mail room and be like, look, the police chief is the one who asked for this, presumably. Like, wipe down the body so it doesn't have any of my like thumbprints, and that's all I really got to do. I have no connection to this man. They're not pinning it on me.
All right. You clean this body of any evidence of yourself at least, and you just pop it somewhere in the building.
No, one of those like
That's
mail
not the first
carts.
murder to ever happen in this place.
I mean, almost certainly not, but it's just funny. It might be a while before this is found anyway. As the two of you meet back up, your business here at least concluded. You get back in the elevator and you hear the hum of it going down many, many floors.
I assume your task was completed without issue?
Honestly, I'm getting out of practice on ambushing people for a second there. I was worried I was going to have to get a little louder.
And yet, you did not fail me. And for that, I'm appreciative.
Next time, a little heads up would be appreciated, especially if we could use it to avoid killing somebody. He was just getting too close to the truth. There's other ways we could have gotten rid of him.
My dearest Dustin, you will understand someday soon that not every life has the same worth.
Seems wasteful is all I'm saying.
How true does that ring for you, Malcolm?
Malcolm? Unquestionably true.
Awesome. Okay. Remind me, do you have any stains currently marked on your character sheet?
Probably should, but I don't.
Let's say for your history, I feel like you should have at least 2 stains marked.
You got it. Where do I mark that at?
You can
One
just put
mark
it in
on
your notes
willpower.
somewhere.
Got it. Marked on the willpower.
With this elevator ride reaching the first floor again, the night security guard letting you out the front door, and the Rolls Royce being pulled up perfectly on time without you even needing to call it, you make your way back to the Duvernay Manor. And we cut across town to a place in the south side of San Francisco. The 3 kindred are walking. Oh, were you going to say something quickly, though?
I just said South Side annoyingly loud, and I'm glad my mic didn't pick it up, so don't worry about it.
Okay. Walking into a parking garage. Walking into a situation they seem to be woefully unprepared for. And with that is where we're going to end tonight's episode. Join us in 2 weeks.
Cliffhanger.
Just what they're walking into. We're going to start with our outros. Going first, it's our fantastic friend. I would largely say did a lot this episode. Our friend Malcolm. Why don't you go ahead and give us your outro?
Babes. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. I can be found on the old Twitter sphere at Foxy Eternal. That's FOXXII. Eternal spelled the way it normally is. I do a lot of things over here at Neon Lights Roleplay as creative director. I run a lot of campaigns. I hang out with cool people and make cool things happen. So much more importantly than me, please come hang out with this cool community of people and stay tuned for more things that we have. The next place you'll see me on the internet, it won't be live, but as I've mentioned yesterday, this Wednesday is launching the pilot episode of Stardust Ghosts, my mecha campaign, my masterpiece with an all BIPOC femme cast, a story about the military, marginalization, and the ways that war can harm all of us, even those who are on the front lines. And so, that said, thank you all for a wonderful evening. I hope to see you all in the very near future, both here on Neon Lights Roleplay and elsewhere on the internet. Take care of yourselves, and good night.
Continuing straight down, Tate.
Hello, Twitch. My name is Tate Washburn. You can find me on Twitter at a completely new handle at Terrific Tate, because I'm trying to actually... Tate the Terrific. Hopefully we've got that changed on the bot so that it'll actually do that correctly.
Hopefully.
You got it.
It is. We had it fixed. I'm trying to just make all my internet presences actually, 1, my name, and 2, make sense. You can find me on this channel all the time. I am also in our game that should be happening in a few Fridays. Under Twilight Skies. You'll also see me on our Discord. What you should really do is follow our Twitter account, Neon Lights Our Play, which is where we do a lot of better jokes, announce new shows, and do a bunch of cool stuff. And I had a good time today. All over the place. I'll do better.
All right, continuing on, keeping up our reverse order. Geliza, why don't you go ahead and do your outro. You're muted.
You
You're
still
muted.
muted.
I'm muted, obviously. That is all on purpose, so you all pay attention to me while I'm thinking
Dramatic
about the
pause.
stuff that
I
I
get it. I
said.
understand.
Hi, my name is Glyza. I go by they, them. Today I played Aurora a little differently this time, letting the Malkavian part of me come out more instead of just the Toreador. That's the excuse I'm going with. Not that I didn't have any dresses or anything prepared. For sure, that's what's up. I'm a person of many hats. I am a podcast host. I'm a writer. I'm a variety streamer. I'm a talk show host of a show called Trial Run, where I interview different TTRPG personalities, creators, players, GMs, and everything else in between. I create a character with them and run them through a quick one-shot. Also, upcoming probably in November, I am going to run my first somewhat campaign-ish 5 to 6 episodes where it'll be using the amazing Brandy Rose's I Spy. It'll be I haven't thought of the title yet, but just it'll be totally spies where you get to date and smooch people as a spy. So hey, that's the first time I'm announcing it because I'm very excited for it. But yes, everything else, though, you can find it on bio.link/classical Liza for all of my schedule. And I do have a lot of them. So just go check out at Classical Liza on the internet everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. I made one. It has like 4 pictures. It's fine. But yeah, mostly on Twitter because that's where I mostly hang out.
In addition, nominee for NJ Webfest.
Oh. Thank you. Hi.
Yeah. Continuing on, I believe D is next in the order.
Oh, hello. Hold on. I need my mood lighting. Make everything dark. Okay, there we go. Good evening, my lovely children of the dark. My name is D. I'm a professional chaos gremlin here on the internet. One person has the reins to my leash and she's got work tomorrow, so you're not going to be rid of me. I'm a voice actor, streamer, musician. You can find me all over the internet causing problems on every Tuesday, rather. You can find me over on TTRPG, where I play Curtis Aloysius Walls, a security officer that's in the middle of a zombie apocalypse where magic is gone and everything's crickety-crackety. That's a fun game run by Rook. You can catch me here, obviously, every other Monday where I bite people. And every periodic Friday, our summer schedule is a little weird. You can catch me over at Gut Punch RP, where I play Lady Liliana Paltain, the Nightmare in Darkness Rising, a 5e homebrew campaign. And I am still the reigning and retaining TTRPG Universal Champion. Yours, your mother's, and your father's. If you want to learn how you can win this belt, you should follow me on Twitter because applications for the new show that I'm casting for called WrestleTopia are going to go live in about an hour. So you should fill out that form and see if you can get yourself a seat. Buy a ticket to WrestleTopia and you might actually win this belt from me. You won't. That's me.
But you can try.
You can try.
You don't have the
Last-
moxie. You're not good enough.
If you think I'm not applying to that as soon as it goes live, except for the fact that I'm going to be in a car. So as soon as I get out of that car. And last but certainly not least, Leona.
That's me. Hello, my name is Leona. You can find me on Twitter at the Leona Maple. That is the best place to find me. Follow me, keep up with what on earth it is that I am doing. I am on this channel doing things. I don't know what else I'm doing. I'm very sick at the moment. But I'm pretty sure some of the things that some of these fabulous folks mention are things that I'm also in. So you'll see me around. Other than that, nom 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 nom. Have a good night, fam.
Can we get a quick, congratulations, not congratulations, accolades for Leona for toughing it out through this? Like, you've been an absolute trooper tonight. Go get some bed rest after this.
Promise.
And that brings us to me, your storyteller for this evening, who doesn't know how the passage of time works and forgot to turn on a light when it got dark. I'm Milan, also known as Mallardman on the internet. You can find me over on Twitter as @MallardMan_. That is MALLARDMAN. That's right, it is a duck reference. Reference? Is it a reference if you just say the word? Who knows? Anyway, you can find me here. I don't have any other games currently streaming at the moment, if I'm remembering correctly. Pretty soon there will be a couple that'll come back. In addition, you should also follow me on Twitch, where I do stream a variety of video games at Mallardman, no underscore there. I have recently been streaming Cult of the Lamb, so watch me do unspeakable things to cute cartoony animals. It's great! That sounded a lot horrible, more horrible than the game actually is. But, you know what? It is horrible. Alright. With that, I think we're going to play our outro.
Love you, Twitch. See
We will see
ya.
you